All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open this in the 2019 version because this is the version that I'm going to deploy from. For some reason, properties is open. Got that open. All right. So I'm in here. I'm going to go ahead and just do a clean solution. And then I'm going to check. I believe I've already commented these things out, but you need to make sure that you comment them out as well. So on the role controller, um, for deployment, we're going to comment out the authorized policies. And then in our member controller, we need to comment out the roles here. So these are for index and details. So let me comment these out. And let's run a build. And then let's go ahead and run it. Make sure everything still works. Now it shouldn't let me edit unless I log in. Okay, yeah, so that looks fine. All right, so I want to make sure you exit that running app. And then we're going to go into myasp.net. And if you are using this for multiple classes, you may very well have to delete what's already there, which I will have to do. So I'm already logged in. I actually created a student account for this. So from the main screen, I have to go into Control Panel. And because you're only allowed one site, for the student account, I'm going to have to delete this. And then I'm going to have to come in here into MS SQL. You can see I've used this a few times, but I'm going to have to delete this one as well. So now I'm starting clean. I have nothing there. And so I'm going to go back over to websites and I'm going to create a new one. And I'm going to call this Playgroup. So now I have my site and I'm going to go over to the MS SQL and I'm going to add a database. And MS SQL 2019 is what I want. And I'm going to call it Playgroup. And then I have to give it a password. So you're going to want to jot this password down, whatever you decide to use. I'm going to submit that. Okay, so now I have my site, I have my database. At this point, I'm going to go back into my Visual Studio project. There is a little tweak I need to make to the project file itself. Oops, that might be where I need to go. I was going to choose properties. Nope, not properties. I lied. Where is it? Edit project file. All right. So what I need to do is add a little code here to say out of process. So it's after the user secrets. So it's ASP.NET Core Hosting Model. Make sure I don't do a typo there. And this is recommended by our host. So let me save that. And at this point, I'm going to close that because I don't need that anymore. I do need to go back out to the web host because I need to get the web deploy information. So the web deploy information is with the website. And I've got to click on this button. And the password here should be the password you use to log in. Okay, and if you don't have that jotted down, you're going to want to hit modify and reset it because you need to know that. And then I'm going to get the publish setting. This is an XML file that's going to download. And I need that XML file because I've got to pull that into my project. So I'm going to go back into Visual Studio. And I'm going to right click and choose publish. Okay. And because I have not done this before in this particular app, I'm getting this publish box where I'm going to import a profile. I'm going to hit next. And now I have to find that XML file that I just downloaded. And that should be under downloads. Here it is. And I'm going to hit finish. Okay, and I'm not ready to publish yet because I have to adjust some of the settings. So I'm going to go into show all settings. I could also just click on more actions and choose edit because it takes you to the same place. It takes you to this little publish box. And I need to set the connection first. So what I need to do in here is I need to enter my password for my ASP.NET. So this is the one that you use to log in. And then I'm going to turn on save and validate. If you do not get a green check, then there's probably something wrong with the password. So what you need to do is pull up that web deploy information and modify the password. Okay, because that's what it's checking. Okay, so as long as it validated, you can go on to the next step, which is the settings. And this is where we connect the database. So we might as well go out and get the database information. So that is in the database section. And we want the connection string. So under ASP.NET, it is everything after the double quote. So I'm going to press Control and C to copy it. And now I'm going to go back into my application. And then under settings, I'm first going to check to make sure these are correct, and they do not look correct. So my target framework It's not .NET 5. It is MVC. How interesting is that? Hmm. Well, we'll see if it works at .NET 5. I don't think it's going to, but we'll see. We'll go ahead and put in the database. So I'm going to click on this and press Control V. And then I'm going to put in my password. This is the password that I entered in the database section when I created it. So I'm going to pause a sec. All right, so I entered that, and now I'm going to check. And it is pecking up my migrations, which is good. So I'm going to turn these on. And then I'm going to paste in that same database connection. And I need to put in my password. So hold on a second. And I'm going to save. I do think we need to make this MVC. I don't know why this project thinks that it's not. So I'm going to right click here and I'm going to go into properties. That is odd. Okay, if yours says MVC 3.1, you're fine. I'm going to go ahead and try to publish. We'll see if it works. I've got the publish settings correct. Okay, so these are all right. Okay, and it saved the setting and it's recognizing my connection because it validated. So I'm going to go ahead and publish. We'll see what happens. Okay, this is very good. It's saying that Entity Framework was successful. So you can kind of see what it's doing down here. So it does look like it's working. Now, once it's done, it's going to launch it, which it is right now. And that does look like it worked. Now, the first thing you guys are going to want to do is add those categories that we had for the roles. So we want to do role and create because they're not going to be out here on the production server. Okay, we'll do another one. This is all good. It's all working. And user, I think, was the other one we had. All right, so those roles are there. And all we should be able to see at this point is parents and details. We should not be able to edit without having an account. So I'm going to go ahead and register. And to test this, you're going to probably want to have 3 different accounts. And because it's not validating through actual email, you can actually make up an email address. It wouldn't really matter. So I'm going to actually kind of do a little bogus one. And let's see, I'll make myself an administrator. Oops, one non-alpha. Okay. All right, we'll try that again. Good security here. All right, now for this to take effect, you have to click on this link. All right, so now I have an administrator account, and to thoroughly test, I'd create, a user and a manager account too. I'm going to go ahead and log in. And this one on the end of my email is bogus, just so you guys know. Let's see, my password. Hopefully I didn't do a typo there. All right, so that's an administrator. So administrator should have access to everything. Let me see. Okay, so that worked. And details, kids. So you're just going to want to kind of test everything, but it does look like everything is working just fine. Okay, and it is deployed. So what you need to turn in is this web address. And that's what you need to submit. If for some reason you don't have that web address, you can easily get it at mysp.net if you go into websites, and it is this. So hopefully you guys can all get this deployed. And if you do run into problems, let me know. And hopefully it goes smooth for you.